On this week's show, Rad Lopez is teaching Bike Bootcamp classes and a new automatic subtitle feature is here.
Plus, Peloton has added new daily streak badges. Hannah Corbin and Callie Gullickson have books coming out this year, and much, much more.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. Here are your hosts, Amanda Siegel and John Pruitt.
Welcome to episode 215 of Pelo Buddy TV. I'm Chris Lewis, and this week I'm joined by a very special guest, Jamie Brooks. Jamie, how are you doing today?
Red, how are you?
Doing good. Thanks for joining us. As people may know, both Amanda and John were off this week, so, we're going to be here to share the news with you, and appreciate you joining and helping us cover all the news.
Yes, happy to cover for Amanda while she's gallivanting in London. So hope they're both having a good time, John in Austin and Amanda in London.
Yeah, and I'm sure next week Amanda will share a little bit about her experience in London. But until then, we will get going. But as we like to remind people, if you want to stay in touch with us, we're on all social media platforms. Just look for us at Pelo Buddy. You can find us on YouTube, Pelo Buddy TV, on all the podcast networks, Pelo Buddy TV. And if you want more details about any of the stories, just go to the show notes on our website, and we should have full articles about any of these stories if you want to get more details. And with that, let's get on with the news.
First, let's do a rundown of the latest Pelo news.
All right. Exciting news for Bike Bootcamp fans. Rad Lopez has been added to the lineup of instructors. His premiere is slated for this Tuesday, March 25th at 12:15 Eastern. This continues Peloton's recent trend of having current instructors branch out into different modalities. For example, Alex K started teaching on the tread, and Katie added strength to her repertoire. So both of those within the last 6 months. So hopefully this is a trend that will continue, and we'll see some of our favorite instructors branch out even more.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are excited to see him kind of take that step because him and Callie both have only been doing that strength and cardio. So this will get him exposed to more people and just more opportunities for people to check out Bike Bootcamp who might not, or check out Rad who might not. So, he'll still be doing that strength and cardio, but it's just a good chance for more exposure for everyone there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we have a new feature this week that has been rolling out. Peloton is adding what they're calling auto subtitles or automatic translations for their German classes. So if you've ever taken a German class and you don't speak German, you might have been frustrated because very few of them get English subtitles. And if they do, it can take weeks and weeks for that to happen. Well, Peloton is now using AI and computer programs in the background so that almost as soon as German classes show up on demand, they should now have English subtitles. I think they're also down the road going to get Spanish subtitles as well in those German classes, but this should make it a lot easier for the non-German speaking community to check out some of those German classes. There's a lot of German instructors out there and they're great, but a lot of people might not have taken them yet because there's no subtitles or any way to understand it. So this should help with that.
Yes, I'm so excited about that new feature. I take the classes in German, but I just love so many of the German instructors. Assal is awesome. Jeffrey is like a delight. Benny is amazing.
They're all amazing.
They're all
worth checking out.
Every single one of them. So it's really exciting. And I think certain people, have stayed away because, like you said, because of the German, but it's a new chapter and hopefully Spanish is soon.
Yes.
Peloton has expanded the number of daily streak badges that members are able to earn, as well as a redesign on the look and feel. Prior to this update, the longest daily streak badge was available was for up to 60 days. They've now added a number of new badges beyond that. For example, there's now 75-day streak, 100-day streak, 250-day streak, as well as 365 for a year. It doesn't go beyond that at this point, but it should be noted that they're not awarding these badges retroactively. So if you're already above a year, like so many of the blue dot freaks are, none of us have seen those on the profile yet. So unless that changes, you would have to give up your daily streak in order to earn some of those new badges.
Hopefully they'll get some feedback from people and can figure out how to backdate it, because I know there's been some stuff they've backdated in the past. And one interesting quirk that I've noticed as well is that the image they put out specifically had the 365-day badge on there, but now that they're on the profile, there is a 150-day badge, but not the 365-day badge. So maybe they're still working on getting some of that out there. But if you're debating skipping a day to start to get that new streak, you might want to wait a little bit just to see if they, backdate it and fill in some of that before they force people to miss a day.
Yes, I'm almost to 1,000. So there's as much as I love badges, I'm not willing to give up my streak for that. And I'm still mad that there's literally one day in 5 years that I missed. And I had to start over. It's like 950 something days ago now. So
Yeah.
yeah, so there's lots of us that love our badges and love the blue dots.
Good motivation. Well, in other news, we shared last year that Hannah Corbin is coming out with a book, and we now have a little bit more details on that. The full title of the book is Did You Stretch, though? 52 Stretches to Increase Flexibility, Balance, and Performance. And we now know that that book is scheduled to come out on November 4th. It's basically a guidebook that's 80 pages long, and it's got some different stretches and some demos. We've got details on it, and we've got a link over to Amazon where it's up for pre-order, and you can check out, there's a couple book page samples in there if you want to get a feel for that. But you can pre-order now, and that should be coming out on November 4th, unless the date changes.
You will also be able to add to your Peloton library with Callie Gullickson's upcoming book, Mocktail Hour, 70 Sips for Anytime Delights and Hangover-Free Nights. So that is now available for pre-order on Amazon and is scheduled to debut just in time for the holidays on December 9th of this year. So if you follow Callie on Instagram, you've probably noticed she's shared a lot of recipes for mocktails over the last couple of years. So this is right in her wheelhouse, and excited to see what comes out.
Yeah. Well, moving over to some classes, we have a new class type that dropped this week. They are called the Extra Steps classes, and these are designed to be fun, beats per minute driven sessions that will have you moving to the beat while you work towards your fitness goals. There's 4 of them that are available right now. There's a 10-minute one towards 1,250 steps with Rebecca. There's a 15-minute with 1,950 steps with Kirsten Ferguson. There's a 20-minute one with 2,500 steps with Jocelyn, and then there's a 20-minute one with 2,500 steps in German with Jeffrey. And these are they're all walks right now. We don't know if they'll bring them to runs, but they're kind of designed to stack on with the other workouts and just help you meet a step goal or just get some extra workouts in. These all dropped on Wednesday as part of the, sorry, those did not drop on Wednesday. Those dropped early this week on demand, but I would expect to see those be on demand drops. And since I tend to drop some of those on Wednesdays, maybe on Wednesdays, but it might just be random throughout the month coming up.
Yes, love having more of those short walks to add on the schedule. So Peloton has officially launched kettlebell classes, marking another expansion of strength training offerings. The first set of kettlebell classes was introduced earlier last month, with plans to release new installments on a regular schedule each Wednesday. In a recent interview with Athletech News, Andy Spear reaffirmed this release schedule, clarifying that members should currently expect only one new kettlebell class per week. So it'll be interesting to see, how many members take those, if they add more classes, if there's a lot of interest, and if they expand the instructor roster from where we're at now.
Yeah, there have definitely been some questions like, there was a bunch at the beginning and then one, like what's going on with this. So he was just kind of clarifying that one per week is kind of what it's going to be. And then we'll have to wait and see if it goes the route of bar and Pilates where they pick up a little bit, or if it goes shadow boxing where people wonder if it's even happening. But if a lot of people take them, that'll be a good sign for them to make more.
Yeah, I know in my timelines with the people I follow, there's a lot of people very excited about it that have been asking for kettlebells for a very long time. So members have been asking for you guys take the classes.
Yep. Well, in other new classes, there is a new Form Fixer Row class that is available. Alex Karwoski is leading this new program. And what it is, it's a 2-for-1 class where Alex is on one row, a guest instructor is on another row. And as he teaches you through the class, he's actually looking at the other instructor who's there beside him and giving them form feedback and tips. So the first one dropped this week, and that is with Allie Love. And then there's going to be one available for the next couple weeks, all dropping on Wednesday. There's going to be one with Marcel Dinkins. There's going to be one with Rad Lopez, and there's going to be one with Jess Kane. And the idea is kind of like, as he looks at them and gives them tips, like literally he looks and says, hey, your shoulders are locked up, or you're breaking your form a little bit early. Your form might be more similar to one of these guest instructors who's not a professional Olympian like Alex. So you might pick up some tips and be doing some of the same things. So kind of just a different way to get some teaching there. So those are going to be dropping on demand over the next couple weeks. So check those out if you are interested in improving your rowing form.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic idea, especially for newer rowers that just got it when Peloton put it out, but don't have any previous experience. And also a new way to get people to follow their favorite instructor on there to check out the classes as well.
Yeah, because there is the form assist, but that's it's a great tool, but it's not a perfect tool. You can be doing stuff wrong and the form assist won't pick that up. So those verbal cues of seeing them and him saying is just a different way to potentially correct some of those issues.
Great. So Peloton continues to add new programs to its Strength Plus app, bringing the total to 13 programs available within the app. The latest programs are Shred It 2, designed by Rad Lopez, and 3 Days to Max Your Muscle from Assal Arian. Shred It 2 is a follow-up program to Rad's original Shred It that launched with the Strength Plus app in December. But you don't have to take the first Shred It program to take the second. Both Rad and Assal's programs are intermediate 4-week programs. So very exciting to see them continue to add the offerings to Strength Plus.
And even if you don't have Strength Plus, because it's still available only in the US for iOS, there is actually a new full strength program that is going to be coming out this week. It's a 4-week upper body program with Tune Day. So we'll share all the details about that next week, but you can check that out in the Peloton library now. And we'll share more details about Tune Day's new program next week because that dropped on Friday, the 21st. And then continuing on with new classes, if you took the Get to Know Me classes that dropped in February, that was part of the challenge, there's actually a couple new ones that dropped this week. 4 new ones are available. They're from Eric Yeager, Alex Karwoski, Alex Toussaint, and Emma Lovewell. These are all instructors who teach on multiple modalities. So they had one class, Get to Know Me class on one of their modalities. And then this week, a Get to Know Me class on the second modality drop. So if you want to don't have the device that they taught the original class on, you can check out maybe there are other classes now available, and those are more 5-minute classes to get to know those instructors.
So in this week at Peloton, a few of the classes that were highlighted. First up was Ash Pryor for a morning row stack that was on Thursday, March 20th. It was a 15-minute intervals row followed by a 10-minute Latin row. On Friday, March 21st, Dennis Morton launched the latest edition of his Reset series with a 30-minute reset ride, followed by a reset yoga class. Also on Friday, Callie Gullickson has a new 20-minute soundtrack strength club that launched at 12 p.m. Eastern. And Olivia will lead a 30-minute outdoor house run live today, Sunday, if you're watching this when we dropped, Sunday, March 23rd at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time.
Nice. Well, we have details about the April Artist Series. These typically drop on the last Thursday of the month, but for some reason this month they released a little bit early. So far, we know there are going to be at least 2 featured artist series. There will be one with Miranda Lambert taking place on April 17th, and there will be one with Pitbull taking place April 24th. The studios are closed in early April, London first, and then New York. So those closures could be why we're not seeing as many, or maybe there's just some special surprises still to be announced later. So we'll be sure to keep an eye on that and share more details. And one thing to point out, we do have a list of all the ones that are available right now. But it is worth pointing out that for the Pitbull one, there's actually going to be a 2-for-1 ride with Camila and Allie Love. So if you love the 2-for-1 rides, you can take that with Camila and Allie on April 24th.
Yes, very excited for actually both of those series. It covers both of my favorite musical genres. And the original Pitbull ride was awesome. So very excited for that installment. This week, Peloton featured the music of Sheryl Crow as their latest artist series that happened last Thursday, March 20th. The series included a 20-minute Sheryl Crow upper body strength with Andy, a 30-minute ride with Dennis, a 30-minute yoga flow with Kira, a run with Bex, and a row with Alex K. So I did the ride with Dennis last night. It was awesome. So definitely check that series out.
Nice. Well, earlier this week was St. Patrick's Day, and Peloton celebrated with a handful of classes that dropped on demand, and one took place live. There were 5 actual classes that ranged from 10 to 20 minutes, and then there were 3 lane break classes that became available as well. So if you want to keep the St. Patrick's Day celebration going, those are available in the library to take if you missed them earlier this week.
So Jen Sherman's popular Epic Sing-Along series is coming to the Tread. Peloton announced a special 2-for-1 walk with Kirsten Ferguson and special guest Jen Sherman, taking place at noon today, Sunday, March 23rd. The Peloton Studios Instagram account revealed this news last week with a fun video featuring Jen and a mock paparazzi crew at the studio. Very excited for this.
Yeah, they had so she's been doing her sing-along ride for a long time, and there's one of those actually this morning as well. I believe it's at 10 a.m. and then 2 hours later is the walk. So I don't think this is her, launching on the Tread officially. I think it's just a one-off special thing that they're doing. But along with that, they're actually hosting a special Epic Sing-Along event at Peloton Studios, New York. It's an invite-only party, and invites went out about a week ago, but there's actually 2 sessions. There's one that starts at 9 a.m. and one starts at 11. There's a chance to win a spot in a future Peloton class, get a VIP card, and there's a watch party of the classes. So that will be taking place at the studios while the classes are going on. This didn't get you into the class. It's just to kind of watch it in that general area, but there will be a lot of extra people, kind of there and having a good time at the sing-along event at the studios this weekend as well.
Cody Rigsby is headed back across the pond. It looks like he's going to be spending a lot of time in April in London teaching at PSL. He shared this week in his Instagram story, as well as Peloton Studios, that they would be dropping some additional classes that he's teaching that just dropped this past Thursday on the 20th. Cody had previously announced teaching classes in London. He'll be there teaching Wednesday, April 9th with a 20-minute stack, 2 20-minute classes, and a 45-minute ride on Sunday, April 13th. Notably, these classes are taking place when PSNY is closed for their break. But then last week, 2 more classes dropped, and he will be teaching a 30-minute ride on Saturday, April 27th, and a 30-minute ride on Sunday, April 28th. So those of you in London that want to ride with Cody, take advantage.
Yep, those all booked up very quickly, but keep an eye on waitlist spots if you, still want to try to get in. And then if not, those will be live and on demand for everyone to take. Well, Lululemon is offering another discount on Peloton hardware. Lululemon is running a members offer week where they're doing lots of big offers with some of their partners and special discounts. And one of those is on the Peloton Bike and Bike Plus. That discount is available until March 24th, but you can get $300 off the original bike, or you can get $500 off the Bike Plus. The discount codes are available in the Lululemon app. It's free to sign up, but you can go through there to get the code and the details. And then we have had another bug with the Peloton Tread this week. This happened in December, but has popped back up this week. We're seeing reports that people are taking classes, but in the middle of the class, they are getting the pin security code lockup screen, which shouldn't be showing in the middle of classes, but it is for some reason. This seems to be happening if you're taking like a non-running, non-walk class, and it seems like the Tread is getting confused and just you're not taking an actual run walk class, so it's locking and putting the pin code. Peloton has created a bug report for the issue. There is no ETA as of the time we're recording, but they said they're looking into it. People have had success either rebooting their Tread or doing a factory reset to kind of fix the issue in the meantime, but hopefully there will be a software update soon that resolves that.
I know this has happened to some of my friends, and I received screenshots with expletives.
Yes.
About it. So hopefully they can get it fixed soon. We've got birthdays this past week. We had 2 birthdays. Marcelle Dinkins, her birthday was on Monday, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. I know she celebrated by teaching 3 classes with members. And she also, the week before, held a gala in Virginia Beach and participated in the Shamrock races. So I know Marcel and the Marmy had a great time celebrating her birthday this year. And Jeffrey McEachern was on Tuesday, March 18th. Happy birthday
Yes.
to both of them.
Happy birthday. And with that, it is time for instructors in the news. And our lead-in story for this is that German instructor Cliff Dwinger and his wife Leslie are expecting their second baby. They shared an Instagram post with the details and a fun little video. They haven't shared a due date or anything, just that they're expecting. So congratulations to Cliff and Leslie.
Congratulations. So Peloton instructors are headed to Puerto Rico. Peloton is collaborating with the Me, Myself, and I wellness event that is being held in Puerto Rico on April 12th. This is a ticketed event. And our 3 instructors are part of a much larger event. Camila Ramon is the headliner, and she will be joined by fellow instructors Rad Lopez and Mariana Fernandez. This is a day-long wellness event. It's got 3 stages with over 20 classes. It's being held at the Botanical Gardens, the Jardín Botánico de Caguas. Hopefully I said that right. Tickets are $55 each and still for sale if you are in that area.
And then Allie Love has announced that she is joining a new part of Hyatt, and it is called the Wellbeing Collective Advisory Board that Hyatt has created. And it's a team of industry experts to kind of enhance Hyatt's well-being offers. There are about 6 or 7 people who are joining, and Allie is one of them. Peloton has had a kind of a big collaboration with Hyatt over the last couple of years, and this is another way that Peloton and Hyatt are collaborating with Allie, providing input to this Hyatt Wellness Board. So we'll see what comes from that in the future, but Hyatt's just kind of making more of a push into wellness, and these experts are helping them shape and guide that.
Susie Chan will be featured at the Guernsey Library Festival at a ticketed event on May 4th in London. Susie will be discussing her book, Trails and Tribulations, The Running Adventures of Susie Chan. So check that out if you're over there.
And then Cody Rigsby was featured in Swagger magazine this week in an article titled Cody Rigsby's Ride to the Top. And it's just a quick interview with Cody where he kind of talks about his how he got into Peloton, and then he kind of talks about how his book, his podcast, how it kind of takes the theme and what he does in his classes, but he's able to do it more in long form in both of those things. And it's just a quick interview with Cody that you can find in Swagger magazine if you want to find out more about Cody.
Dog lover Olivia Amato has begun a new social series named Doggy Dates with Olivia, where she features adoptable pups in hopes of finding them their forever home. She takes these adoptable dogs out on the town, really features their personalities. This is an adorable series you can find on her Instagram. And I hope that she's successful in finding new homes for all these adorable pups.
Yes. And with that is time for class picks of the week, and I will get us started off. Our first pick is Mila Lazar in our 20-minute Sabrina Carpenter Pilates class, which is in German from March 13th. This came from Almajar3, who said, solid class and love having the English subtitles now. We then have Olivia Amato and her 30-minute Sabrina Carpenter Walk Plus Run, also from the 13th. This came from Eric Rides PPC and Karen Zemskaberry, who said such a fun playlist and perfect programming. And then we have Camila Ramon and her 30-minute Miami base ride from the 14th at 6:30 a.m. This came from Karen Zemskaberry, who said great playlist and energy.
I would like to co-sign on that Camila ride. I absolutely love that ride. She did one other Miami base ride, and I grew up in South Florida, and it was definitely a throwback. So
Nice.
Kudos to her for having that much energy at 6:30 in the morning. Actually managed to get out of bed for that one.
Well done.
Yes. We also have Tunde Onyenin's 60-minute intervals ride that took place on March 14th at 12 o'clock. That was brought to us by Lainey Bugs and my own tune. This great playlist, very fun and not too hard, even though it was 60 minutes. Perfect structure, and the ride flew by. We also have Alex Toussaint's 30-minute Club Bangers run with Lil Jon. That was on Friday, March 14th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. This was bought by Kim Carr 11 and myself, Paddle to Paris. This was an epic class. It is my personal favorite of all time on the tread, and my favorite of all time on the bike is his Lil Jon ride. So Peloton, keep doing what you are doing with these classes. It was amazing. And if you haven't taken it yet, even if you're just a walker, you don't have to run. The vibes are amazing. So definitely take advantage of this class.
And that also came from Gwen Gets To as well, was another submitter of that one.
Thank you. And then we've got Rebecca Kennedy, her 10-minute extra steps walk that dropped 3:15:25 at midnight. That was brought to us by Jenny Burbridge. And she says, all of these new extra steps classes are great.
And then we have Maddie and his 20-minute walk plus run from the 15th at 3 p.m. This came from Ross Yule, who said Maddie always brings great energy and music to his classes. We then have Hannah Corbin and her 30-minute low-impact ride from the 16th at 2 p.m. Eastern. This came from Spinbug, who said can't go wrong with Hannah and low impact. Then we have Mariana Fernandez and her 45-minute Latin run from the 16th at 2:30 p.m. This came from Dr. Devin, who said amazing class all around. Her sister was in the class and it was so special.
Bradley Rose's 10-minute St. Patrick's Day arms that dropped on St. Patrick's Day from Amajar 3, a festive and fun little class. We also have Ben Aldis's 10-minute core strength from 7:30 on March 17th, brought to us by Jennifer Carroll 22. Great stack along with his glutes and leg. Great snack classes. We also have a 30-minute hit run from Alex K from St. Patrick's Day, brought to us by Evie, the Proud Papa. Great class to push to max speed.
And then we have Matt Wilpers and his 30-minute pop punk ride from the 18th at 6:30 a.m. This came from All Biz Liz, who said a nice pop punk playlist from Matt. We then have Jermaine Johnson and a 60-minute full body strength from the 18th at 7:30 a.m. This came from Patrick 707, who said great to get a 60-minute class from Jermaine. And then we have Allie Love and her 10-minute bar, glutes and legs, from the 18th at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. This came from Krabby Cakes. And they said, great class with both a ball and a band.
Jeffrey McEachern's 20-minute pop run, which was in German, from March 18th at 1 p.m. Eastern, brought to us by Braden J. 21. Great live divas, in addition to Jeffrey. He said, so fun. We also have Rad Lopez's 20-minute full body strength from March 18th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Julie, brought to us by Julie MJ, said great playlist and programming. And finally, Kira Michelle, her 20-minute yoga flow, also from March 18th at 6 p.m., brought to us by All Biz Liz. It says it's a feel-good class.
And then to round things out, we have Christine and her 45-minute low-impact ride from the 19th at midnight. This came from Jennifer Carroll 22, who said, my favorite format of alternating climbs and flat roads. We then have Logan and his 30-minute kettlebell strength and conditioning from the 19th. This came from Whitney Lifts 81, who said, great to see Logan added to the kettlebell team. And then we have Allie Love and a 20-minute Queens of Pop ride from the 20th at 6:30 a.m. Do you want to take it from here?
No, I just took that class last week. And again, I'm not a morning person. So anytime I get up and meet friends on the bike for a 6:30 class and it's good vibes, I definitely want to give it its flowers. So Allie did a great job. I love the playlist and flew by.
Yeah, Jamie was our picker for that one. So that's why she gave you the context there. But with that rounds up the news. So Jamie, thank you for co-hosting with me this week and helping share all the news.
Happy to pinch it.
Well, from me here in Atlanta, thanks for listening, and we'll see everyone next time.
Thank you for watching Pelo Buddy TV, your source for everything Peloton, by the community, for the community. Work out with us using the Pelo Buddy TV leaderboard tag and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Pelo Buddy. Don't forget that we have a podcast available so that you can listen to us while on the move. Just search for Pelo Buddy TV on any major platform and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode.